Good evening, Australia. Welcome to Psychic TV International Thursday night show. It is great to have your company as always. Please do like and share this video so we can reach as many people as we possibly can tonight. And do say hello. It's good to have your company and to know who's also watching as well. We are here every Thursday night, so it's good to have your company there. Hi, Andrew. Good to see you there. Must be the first one tonight, so good to see you. So yeah, do definitely like and share so we can reach as many people as we possibly can. Tonight's a special show. So lately, the last couple of weeks, we've been having sort of themed based shows where we pick a kind of spiritual topic and talk about that. But tonight we actually have a new guest tonight, Miss Psychic D, who has, well, she's been with us for a little while. She kind of took a bit of a break and has come back with us as well. So it's great she's always full of energy and a little pocket rocket. So we do love her energy and her being on tonight as well. So Miss Psychic D is going to be our first guest for our Thursday night. So we're going to get to know her a little bit more tonight and go into a little bit more detail about her journey. And there's definitely a lot to unpack there, and you'll understand as the show progresses tonight. Danielle, or Miss Psychic D, has gone through a lot and has so much experience, and it's just one of those people that, you know, you can just sit and talk to for hours because there's just so much to say. And I'm really excited to have her company on tonight. So you're in for a real treat. But of course, as always, you can go to psychictvinternational.com and speak to one of our psychics and get an in-depth personal reading. So currently online, we have Amazing Grace on pin 9888, Ben 10 on 9902, Benjamin on 9166, our UK Psychic Jag on 9160, Judah Sky on 9125, Nellie Norm Baker on 9810, Psychic Sadie on 9147, our other UK Psychic Renaretta on pin 9112. We have Sandra, we've got everyone online. Sandra on 9158, the Seer on 9141, and of course Vanessa on pin 9900. So many psychics online. I've never had mentioned so many names, but it's great. It's great to see so many people online. So again, do like and share this page. Again, so we can reach as many people. We do have Miss Psychic D to give us a bit of a chat, to know a bit of in-depth detail, get to know her on a more better level. So I'm pretty excited for that. In fact, I'm not even going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring on the fun. Hello. Good to have your company.
Back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. We've definitely missed you, that's for sure.
Oh, thanks. I missed you guys too.
You just have such great energy. Like it's like it doesn't matter what you're going through. It's like if you're on or if you're just around, it's like the energy just shifts and it's like just fun.
Well, my mum always said I was born with a smile on my face, and I always looked on the bright side of life. So
that's good. Not many people can do that. Let's so this is your first time on a Thursday night where we are getting to know you on a more sort of deeper level. So before we kind of delve into the beginnings and where it all sort of started for you, why don't you just quickly sort of tell us the type of psychic that you are and how you do work?
Okay, so I call myself a natural born psychic intuitive because this is an ability that I was actually born with, and I've just had to use the processes to strengthen it. So I have the ability to tap into individual energies or the collective energy, which is just pure consciousness. And spirit will give me messages using my four clairs. That's my clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and my clairvoyance to deliver their wisdom or their psychic insights. So I've got the ability to predict possible future outcomes. But because I'm a law of attraction practitioner and I believe that like attracts like in energy, I help coach and mentor people to shift their energy and to alchemize it so they can get in alignment with what they want to receive in the future. So
right, a lot to, just simply.
Yeah, just that's just it.
Just, no big deal.
Welcome to my life.
just can like change the world, but whatever. Like,
yeah,
no, there is definitely a lot to really go into breakdown. And a lot of what you just said, a lot of people probably don't even understand what that is or aren't very clear. So we can definitely go into sort of detail and help, I suppose, people understand that. But before we kind of get there, let's rewind the clock a little bit and go from the beginning. And when did this all start for you? And when did you know you had, if we call it, ability?
Obviously, I've always been very, very sensitive and very, very empathic. So it sort of really come fully into my awareness probably when I was around 7. I'm 50 now,
Okay.
I just turned 15, 50. But yeah, around 7 when I was starting to feel sorry for inanimate objects.
Ah, so
So,
not even people. Well, maybe
no,
people,
not
but
even, yeah, no, people weren't even on my radar then. I was quite an introvert, but it was inanimate objects. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going a bit cuckoo here. And then it got to the point where I'd sit down in a chair somewhere. I was at a bakery when I was on holidays with my family, and I just started crying. And I had no idea why. And, my dad sort of saying, "What are you crying for? We're on holiday. You're getting a pie. It's all exciting." And I go, "I don't know." Anyway, I sort of really
crying
was,
into your pie.
I really was. I had a bit of tomato sauce on my nose. But anyway, but yeah, obviously I was unaware and so young, but it developed to the point where I really seriously thought I had mental illness because of everything that was going on for me and no one could pinpoint what it was. And then I can't really remember how it transitioned, but I just went, "This is not right. I've got to look into this." And then I went to a psychologist and they just wanted to put me on antidepressants and told me I was bipolar and, the
Mm.
same old story. And there was something in my soul that just went, "No, no, that's not it." So I threw the prescription in the bin. And because I was extremely empathic and I carried the load of so much energy at school and in life, I always had to have an afternoon nap. I was just exhausted. And one afternoon I did that. It was probably a couple of days after seeing the shrink. And I actually had what I would deem as an out of body experience. And I actually met my Native American guide. And I
Wow.
remember the energy and the vibration of it, but I don't remember the words, so to speak. But they basically said, because I was ready to end things because it was just too much for me. So he said, "You can come and stay with us if you like, or we would love for you to go and share our wisdom." And they welcomed me into the Lakota tribe. So my first business was Lakota's Tarot. And I said, "Yes, please," even though I wanted to stay there because it was so cool. So I said, "Yes, please." And that was probably back in 1991. And I've been on my
Okay,
own.
so I was gonna say, 'cause I think you jumped around a bit there. So when all this was happening, you weren't still 7 at this point. Had you
No,
aged a
from
little
about
bit?
7, yeah, from about 7 to 16, 17 years old, that's when I fell off the tracks. I couldn't control my emotions. I was having outbursts. I was very reactive. I had serious psychological issues, if you could say that, because
Right,
I just
right.
I couldn't adjust with my abilities. I didn't know what they were.
Of course, of course. So it was when you were around 16 that you had that out of body experience?
Yes, yeah, yeah. So I was in year
And
12. Yeah.
right. And that's still because I still remember not that it was super long ago for me, but anyway, we'll keep that quiet. But basically like, I sort of remember being in year 12 and even, as a 16-year-old and going through all that and what that is like. And, you know, it is a very kind of confusing and challenging time for most people. So how did you cope with all of that? Because obviously you that was a chunk of time there, and I know it sounds like there was a bit of a struggle and whatnot. But what kind of kept you going? That what? No, I'm not actually crazy. And then to have that out of body experience, how did that change you again?
It was simply that. If I hadn't had this connection with my guide and had the conversation, it could have been a totally different outcome for me. And
Right.
this is why I go out with empathy with so many people, especially teenagers who have a gift or an ability. But it was just part of my consciousness. There's no sort of rhyme or reason or explanation. I really reclused. I really adapted to music that helped soothe my soul. I tried to regulate myself, but I went into learning mode. I lived at
Mm.
libraries. I looked up everything. But then I joined
Because
the
I suppose
Psychic
it was a
Guild.
bit more challenging for you at the time because the internet it wasn't like what it is now, so we had to do it old school.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just lived at the library or I researched books. I think there was like a mind, body, spirit monthly little catalogue that come out. So I just
Yeah.
collected that. I just drip fed myself really because I couldn't learn everything all at once. But I did end
Yeah.
up joining the Psychic Guild at the time, and they were the most fabulous place for me because they really helped people come together with their own unique ability because everyone's got a different gift, but they just help support you create your own craft rather than tell you you got to do it this way and you got to do it that way and you got to do it that way. So yeah, they were amazing. But
And that's so important too, because a lot of people, it even happened to me when I was kind of learning this sort of industry and being into sort of this field. You do kind of fall into the trap or the pattern that other people do of it has to be like this, or you should be doing this, or this is how you cleanse and this is how you protect, and that's it. There's no other option. And you kind of go, oh, well, okay, if everyone else is doing it, you know. So it's good
and
to
then it
learn.
doesn't work.
No,
And then it
and then
doesn't
you
work,
get,
and they say, "Oh my God, I'm doing it wrong," and it causes
all this confusion, or you kind of, you don't kind of really follow through because it's like, oh, well, it's not for me then, or whatever the situation might be. So I suppose it's good that you picked up on that early and was able to really be aware of that because, a lot of people aren't, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why I really say to everybody, me personally, I'm self-taught and spirit-led. Spirit have always led me through my clairaudience. They talk to me and they say, Denny, I'll go and do this. Denny, I'll go and do that. Tell that person to watch out for that. Tell that person, be mindful of that. So it's always divinely guided for me, and it has been for like the last 35 years. So they've saved my bacon. They really have.
Oh, look, 100%. And we'll go into that. I'm just going to say a few hellos to people that are watching. So hello to who we got in there. We got Belinda from the UK. So good to see you watching as well. Raylene, Jamia, Denise, Beth's always one of our regulars. She's always in the house. So good to see you. Everyone say hello to Beth. Hello, Beth. Missy. Yeah, good to see everyone that's watching. If anyone's got a kind of a question for Miss Psychic D, we are going to go into a bit more detail in regards to I'm trying to get the right word and how you will describe them, but the different journeys, I suppose, and the different lessons and skills and whatnot that you've adapted. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. So if anything that is mentioned tonight that you unsure of or need more clarity, let us know. We can always go into more detail as well. If you've got just we're not doing psychic readings, obviously, but if you do have a question for Miss Psychic D, definitely chuck it in the thread. It's a safe space here. All right, so we've hit sort of 16 and above. We're kind of really working things out and we're kind of exploring, going down different paths. Obviously, there's so much you've done and there's so much that you've learned. It's like, where do you even begin? I think for me, and this is probably jumping a bit of a gap here, but let's talk about The Secret and how that sort of started, how that came about, and what exactly that it means. Like, what is it when I say The Secret to you and what you've done? What is that?
Well, it was more so me delving into energy work, because I've been informed that I'm shamanic as well. So I do energy healings and stuff like that as well. But it was more about learning about energy itself. And so when I started getting more curious about the energy, that's what led me down the law of attraction route to watching The Secret and manifestation and law of attraction and all that sort of stuff. And then I came across this, I can't think of what it's called now, but I studied with the Global Science Foundation in America. So I did the law of attraction practitioner's course with that, and I started applying it to my life. So
Okay.
yeah, it's knowing the energy through your thoughts and how ongoing chronic thoughts become strong belief systems. And then that in turn affects your emotions and your energetic frequency that you send out to the world. And in turn, that's what you receive in your reality, and that's how you create your reality. So yeah.
And you trained formally under the I don't know the correct terminology here, but the people that sort of ran and started The Secret, you've trained directly under them, haven't you?
Yeah, it's Joe Vitale from The Secret. Yeah. It was,
what was that like? Like, obviously you're being drawn to it and it was the right thing to do, but as you were kind of going through the training, and obviously it was most likely making sense and everything to you, but
yeah,
just what was that whole experience like?
It was absolutely amazing because soul always knows. It's like anything in life. If you read something or you hear something and it just resonates, it's what I like to say, it's just common sense. It just feels like common sense. But then it makes you think, well, hang on, how come I'm thinking like this and that and this and that? And you go, oh, because that was programming. My teacher told me that. Or this person told me that. Or, my parents taught me this or whatever. So there was a bit of a contrast between the programming of the 3D and actual source energy. And
So did you
actually,
find that you had to almost, well, I'd imagine reprogram yourself in a way?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm still doing it to today. I never sit here and I teach through the clarity of mind example on all my platforms. I don't sit here and I'm not in an ivory tower and go, I've got all my stuff worked out, because it's an ongoing journey, and the 3D is changing every single day. So there's always something to adapt to. But at the end of the day, when it comes to law of attraction and spirit-led guidance, there is one answer for everything. So it
Has
doesn't
there
matter
any?
what people ask about.
Yeah, and we will delve a little bit into the law of attraction because that's a big topic for a lot of people, and there's a lot to sort of explore there. But I kind of wanted to my brain's working. Can you tell? What I wanted to sort of ask is, in all this sort of journey and the experience that you've gone on so far, and the changes and stuff that you've made, were you ever, apart from prior to understanding what it was, more like once you actually did understand, you were practicing and you were working as a psychic and law of attraction and energy and all that kind of stuff, has there anything that's like scared you along the way?
No, just humans.
Yeah, they are pretty scary creatures.
No, not at all. I'm, I'm a little bit different because spirit. I've just never been around or been subjected to sort of the darker energies that a lot of people seem to have brought to light over the last probably 5 to 10 years, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've always walked in the light. I've literally just been introduced to Christ consciousness, and they said I'll be channeling, Christ consciousness and stuff. I just haven't been subjected. I know it's there because my mum was very influenced by poltergeist and that kind of activity, if this is what you're meaning. But nothing's ever scared me. I just walk in and tell them to get
To go
out,
away.
or I
Yeah.
cleanse it or something, and they've always been scared of me without trying to sound vain. I don't know what it is.
No, but it's true though. Like when you have that sort of right energy and you go into that right intention, then
Yeah. They have no
it is what
power.
it is. Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, the opposite to that, Beth has actually asked, what's been the best highlight you've done?
This.
What
I
do you mean
used
by
to
this?
watch, well, Psychic TV. I used to watch this program. No kidding, you guys. I watched this program with my mum when I was in my teens, when it was on TV at like late at night.
So did I. Yeah, so did I. It
And
was my
home,
ritual.
I think I even come home drunk, and I'm going, TV's on, I've got to go watch it.
Yeah.
And I said to
Done
my
exactly
mum,
the same.
I said to my mum, I'm going to be on there one day. I'm going to be on there.
Exactly
That's my
what I
mission.
said too.
Did you? See, like the track's like. And
Yeah.
here we are. So honestly, working with this team of gorgeous souls and having this opportunity, it's been my highlight.
Jamia, I think that's how I'm saying it. She's asked, do you I mean, obviously, funny question, but do you recommend The Secret? I've heard a few people to say and watch it.
Absolutely. If you're just starting out, The Secret is the best place to start. And if you want to go a little bit more advanced, you can go to the Teachings of Abraham with Esther Hicks, because how she documents it's amazing. Real life people go and ask their question, and then she delivers the consciousness of thought from Abraham to individual stories. So you'll usually find someone that's got a question similar to the one you want to ask. But it takes a while. It's not, it's not something that you just go, I'm still learning it.
Oh, look, of course. So let's talk about like for like, law of attraction, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to think the best way to really kind of start. What I suppose, how, when you've got the question, but it's like finding English words to use to ask.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like my responses. I'm trying to
yes, it's like
get this.
just
Yeah.
hope for the best. So how can someone better understand law of attraction and how to make it work for them?
Honestly, yeah, watch The Secret. It depends on how people learn, in my opinion. If you're a visual learner, I would watch The Secret or start watching YouTube videos, whatever's available out there now. Um, I haven't influenced my energy with too much external teaching, so to speak. I just stick with Esther Hicks and stuff like that myself. But audio listening, listening to certain audios. There are a lot of people out there teaching it, but it's sort of just the surface level teaching. So I would just get amongst those who are able to explain it. I just know it. This is the hard part with me. I don't say I
Yes.
teach. I teach the law of attraction. I just live it, and then share what I've done and know, and hope
And
people.
sometimes that's the best thing, though. Sometimes personal experience is better than textbook. In fact, I rely on personal experience learning than actual textbook because you've lived it. So it may not work for everyone what you've done and what your sort of personal opinions and things like that might be, but it's a good
Yeah,
starting point because it's real. It's not, yeah,
and
it's
it's
practical.
wisdom too.
Yeah.
It's wisdom. It's not a tutorial. It's not a I'm going to learn to do that and then I'm just going to get that result and all that. It's wisdom and it's very scientific. It's very I just don't do that. My brain's just like nah. But mine's a bit different because I had to have that foundational knowledge and wisdom to be able to strengthen my craft. I had to do it. It was just part of my journey. So, but yeah, anyone just Google Law of Attraction by Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks, the book. Amazing. It's a perfect place to start.
What keeps you going, like motivated? Because we're still human, even though we
Yeah.
forget.
It is my mission to be of service with spirit. It
Right.
really is. And I just no, I can't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. And knowing how many lives I've changed and I've helped people that were really going to jump off there and now they're kicking goals. It's just seeing that process and seeing the ability that spirit and I have to be able to help people move forward. I can't get enough. It's a passion.
I love that, and that's so important too, because yeah, you wouldn't be doing it otherwise.
No. And I only
Right.
just recently found out that even with my real life 3D experiences leading up until this point, it's kind of like I had to go through that, even though I wouldn't wish it because I've got CPTSD now, but I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. But Spirit basically said, you kind of went through that so I can be the best mentor, coach, real
Mhm.
life example that I can to help people. So I took one for the team, guys. You're welcome.
We do thank you. We do thank you. But it's like
You're welcome.
it's but it's like you're not, yeah, it's that's not the first time I've heard that sort of story from someone, especially in the light working kind of field. Like a lot of
Yeah.
us, all different circumstances, but it's like, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us do have to go through the crap to be able to come out the other side to help so many more people as a result. And a lot of us have this sort of extra external strength to be able to do that because it is part of our mission. So, yeah, it's. I'm hearing a lot more of that. So it's very common.
Well, what it's doing is it's across the planet at the moment, it's really increasing the level of empathy that people are having because there's a big difference between having apathy, sympathy, and empathy. Empathy is really being encouraged and being sort of nurtured across the planet. So it's not like you sit there and feel sorry for someone with their experience, but you can relate because you know the feeling or something like that. But
Mm.
let's go over here now. You can always, move out of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who, it's probably like one of those common cliche type questions or scenarios as well, but when it comes to the law of attraction and like for like kind of thing, I'm sure, in fact, I'm positive that you have probably seen people in a bit of a rut or repeating the same sort of cycles. And it's always sometimes a bit of a victim mentality in some cases, but also a bit of like, why is this happening? Why is this continue to happening? What do you say to people like that?
Well, I always just try to remind people first and foremost that nothing is ever really happening to us. It's happening for us. It's actually happening to show us something. And usually in our current reality, it's showing us where our thoughts, feelings, actions, behaviors from the past, how it's affecting our life now. And we can change that at any given time. So, but I would really encourage people when starting out, they have to want better for themselves. You have to. And when you decide, yes, I want better for myself, then that's when you've got to get to know yourself. Warts and all, we're not all I coach and mentor people to start from scratch and start over as many times as you need to, because if you know what isn't working in your life, you'll know what's working in your life, what can work in your life. But you've got to get to know yourself.
And it's so true. And it's so simple and really basic what you just said, but it's just the reality of it, isn't it? And it's same with anything like exercise. If you want to lose weight or if you want to get better healthy habits or whatever, you do have to start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
You're not going to drop weight overnight. It takes weeks of commitment. So anything spiritually, mentally, physically, it's all a muscle that we need to exercise.
Absolutely. And most people will come to me and they say, oh, Dan, I'm so stuck. I'm just so stuck. And I really need to put out there that when it comes to energy, you're never stuck. It's a real icky word, because words are just spells. They're just energy as well. But if you say I'm stuck, you're saying to the universe, I'm stuck, and they go, and so it is. So you'll stay stuck.
Okay.
So I like to use the word resistant. I'm resisting this change. What is it? Maybe I don't have enough money yet. Maybe, I'm feeling trapped because I can't get away from the kids. Or there's always, you've got to go into that exploratory curiosity.
What was that word again?
Resistant.
Resistant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just resisting it.
And so fear too, like if we feed into that fear as well, and once that we let that kind of fear too take over, even if it's fake fear too, because sometimes we confuse I don't know, going on a tangent here, but I always say there's good fear and bad fear,
Yeah.
It's like about to do a public speech or about to go live, you're going to get fearful and a bit scared, but that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And it's up to you to be your own cheerleader and go, no, you've got this. You can do this. You may fall down 10 times. I mean, I love Esther Hicks's analogy. When you see a little toddler learning how to walk and they fall over, you don't sit there and go, get up, you dummy. Get up. You should be walking by now. You don't. You say, it's all right, next time, let's go. And you support them and you hold their hand and you build that muscle, you build that strength. Same with this, same with law of attraction. But law of attraction's working every day in everyone's life. It's exactly like gravity. People believe in gravity. They know if they pick something up, it's going to fall to the ground, but they don't question it. They just know it's going to happen. So, and it's the same. It's the same as what you project through your thoughts and feelings to the universe.
What goes up must come back down.
Yeah, and some people don't need to understand it. They might just go, well, I'll do this and that and that and that, and they get the result. I call them the Midas touch people. They're the really annoying ones that just,
everything just happens.
$1 million, it just happens or whatever. But those people are usually the happiest people. They're only manifesting because they're happy. That's it. They're not doing anything. They're not making potions and writing scripts and
they could be
doing anything. Well, it could be.
But it could be too, like, previous lives and stuff, they probably had it really tough and now they're getting a bit of a break, I don't know. Who knows, really?
Well, there is an element of that, but the thing is, when you're born into this physical experience, you come with a certain essence of a past life, but you are still born with free will. So it's up to everyone how they use that free will.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I've got my own personal opinions about past lives and stuff, so.
Yeah, I'm I'm kind of hit and miss too, depending on the topic of it or
that's another story for another day.
Yeah. No, it's just look, the law of attraction, the whole like for like, asking for things, manifestation as well. You know, it's just a constant topic really for a lot of people. And as you
Oh,
said,
it's
it's every day.
huge.
You know, we're doing it every day. And I think, I mean, I know for myself as well with personal experience, you know, it's you forget how strong it really is, the manifestation, the law of attraction, all of that connected. You kind of sometimes might say something and then deep down be like, oh, I don't really want it, but you kind of say it in the will, and then it kind of happens or something. It's like, yeah, if you're not really aware or familiar, it's scary, like how things can happen, you know, and people don't
Oh,
realize, like, just by putting it
and
out there, you've got it out there.
And like I say to everybody, knowledge is power about anything. Knowledge is power. Learn about it, read about it, get amongst community groups that discuss it, come to PTV to learn something new all the time, get amongst people who actually feed the mind and get the knowledge about it. Because if you don't have the knowledge, you can't apply it. It just doesn't, it's not going to work. So,
True.
yeah, like I said, I had to learn this for my craft. I really had no choice, and I'm glad I did because it's changed my life around. I mean, I was a single mum. I was caring for my terminally ill mum. I was on a carer's pension. I felt like I had nowhere to go. I wanted to move out of the Bronx of Logan in Brisbane and all that, and I manifested a waterfront apartment at the Gold Coast on a carer's pension,
Oh,
and
okay, there you go.
and then I manifested a brand new car off the showroom floor on a
I
carer's
remember this
pension.
story. That's right. I remember that. We've talked about this one.
And I've got photos to prove it. But if this is, I never say that to brag, but it's like this stuff works. It works, and I want everybody to have it all.
Oh, look, and yeah, I know, don't we? I totally agree with you there. Like just on that though, because I am more curious, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably thinking this as well. Call it psychic, but as you said, you know, the apartment, the car, the things that you've gotten on a a government income, so to speak, without actually having
Yeah,
a like a wage, so to speak, but you're still
yeah.
able to do all that. Is it like, what kind of mindset do you have to be in? Like, is it very much like really believing, or is it desperation? Like, what is it that kind
It
of,
is. It is honestly belief system, which is built from consecutive thoughts that you have. So
yeah.
I used to think the law of attraction was the most selfish, greediest connotation to earth that ever was known to man until I learnt about it. And yeah, I just went, I always talk to spirit. I always thank spirit. Thanks for getting me out of this position. I'm open to however it's going to come in for me. And I love my life and life loves me. And I know I can have whatever I set my mind to. And I developed a very strong knowing that if I want it, it wants me to.
Yeah.
And yes, I still had to live life. I still had to put myself out there and face rejection, which I now know is just redirection if I don't get something. But I never beat myself up along the journey. And I try not to let anybody else tell me that I couldn't. So
Mm.
there's a few compartments, but honestly, chronic thoughts and chronic belief systems.
Yeah. Like I said, I could honestly just sit and listen to you all day. There's just so much there that, but it is like, it's just changing the language and the thought process. And as you said, like resistant instead of like I'm stuck. Like it's those little things, um, that do work. And it's
Yeah,
starting small and building almost those blocks to changing the mindset, changing the attitude, and trusting too. I would imagine trust is a big thing.
absolutely. And that's why I always coach and mentor people who are just starting out. Start small. Just start small. Just say, look, I don't know whether there's any rhyme or reason to this, but I'm open to be humored. So humor me, spirit. I did that at the beginning. I had a big choice to make, and I said, show me a yellow balloon, spirit. If you're really working for me, show me a yellow balloon. If I should do this or do that. And yeah, I took my kids to the park a couple of days later, and I got a photo of this as well. We're mucking around. I look up, and here's this perfect yellow balloon up in the tree. I
Of
mean, in a
course.
tree, it should have burst. Like it should have burst.
And I think too, though, it's
yeah.
important to note what you said after a couple of days. I think people ask for a sign and expect it immediately, and then get disappointed or don't believe when it doesn't happen. So I think it's good to note that you said after a couple of days, and you probably even almost forgot about it and looked up and saw
Well, the
it. So I think,
trust,
yeah, it's important to
yeah,
know
the
that
trust and
it can take.
yeah, part of the trust and the faith in it is that you need to learn how to surrender it as well. You've just got to know that it's done. I've placed my. It's kind of like you don't place your order with the chef at a restaurant and then sit there and go, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And then go behind and try to find it and look for it and see what they're up to and all that sort of stuff. You just know that you've ordered your meal, you've paid for it, and it's going to come to you.
We hope.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
well, you hope, yeah, in a good restaurant anyway. But same with the universe. You just know that if I put my prayer out there, or I put my desire out there, or anything like that, I'm just going to stamp it as done, and I'm going to go about my day and live as high vibrationally as I can.
Stamp it as done. I like that.
Yep.
I like that analogy
And when
because
you
it's,
start
yeah.
seeing evidence of it as a human being in your own right, I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it. So
Right.
people go, oh, I'll believe that when I see it, and spirit are sort of going, no, you need to see it, you need to see it, and then you will receive it and believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just digesting. As I'm sure a lot of people, even who watch this back later, are going to do
Sorry,
as well.
I've got so much
No.
to share.
No, I know, and that's yeah. It's like where to angle this. Still got a bit of time, so I'm just like, there's just a lot there, but also too not losing sight of getting to know you as well, and your journey in all of this as well.
Oh, that's all right,
So we'll come back to you because that's more important. But I do have to. No, everything's important. But I do have to read out some numbers and do my other part of the job, unfortunately.
yeah.
But of course, if you do want a more detailed psychic reading, we have a great variety logged in to psychictvinternational.com. Of course, Amazing Grace is logged in on pin 9888, Ben 10 on 9902. Benjamin on pin 9166, our UK Psychic Jag on pin 9160, Janae on 9128, Judith Sky on 9125, Nellie Norman Baker on pin 9810, Psychic Sadie on pin 9147, our other UK Psychic Renarette on pin 9112, The Seer available on pin 9141, and Vanessa is also available on 9900. Call now. It's like one of those speakeasy ads. In all of this, in all of the beauty and wonder that you've gone through and everything that you've sort of learned and continue to learn and whatnot, and you've talked about change, you've talked about how, it's basically saved your own life and all of that, but obviously prior to that, there was a lot of confusion and doctors and questionable parents as well and things like that, I'm sure, and everything. With where you're at now and with the journey that you've gone on, how have your friends and family reacted?
I've always had very supportive family. My maternal side is obviously very intuitive. This is where it comes from for me. It is difficult for psychic alchemists like myself to actually develop friendships and connections and relationships because of our abilities. So either people are very scared of us.
I was about to say, yeah, did you find that? Yeah.
Absolutely, still do. And I don't know how many times people say, I can't look at you because you can just see straight through me. So, so I keep my circle small. I'm obviously very accepting, but like I say, I accept my mission on this earth, and I'm not here to necessarily
make friends
and all that sort of stuff. It's a tricky one actually, because that's something that I'm just starting to come into awareness of and alchemize myself when it comes to co-creative connections.
Yeah.
So, because I've always had the business, this is part of my CPTSD as well, as I've always had business associates or people trying to just use me for, the business that I've built, or relationships, for my kindness, my forgiveness, and my understanding, and I forgave too much, and I didn't have enough self-worth, and it's difficult with anybody that has sensitivities when it comes to co-creations.
And I think too, one of the lessons I'm still learning, but getting better at learning, is being okay with that too. Like being okay with
Yeah,
being alone, because you're not lonely, and that's the difference. And a lot of people confuse loneliness and being alone. And I always say you're
absolutely.
not lonely, unless if you are, then that's a different conversation and directions to go in to fix that. But you're not
Yeah,
lonely. You're just alone.
exactly right. Exactly right. And you'll find most people who have embraced their gifts or know, and they're happy to be. They're happy. I'm happy to be on my own.
I
I really
prefer it.
am.
I really,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Less
People
cleansing
just,
and shielding and stuff you need to do. That's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Trust me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You learn a very quick love-hate relationship with humans. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, you
you know,
do.
you're here to help, of course, and you're here to help anyone.
Yeah,
But after a day's work, you just want to be alone.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because it does. It feels like the ratio is a bit imbalanced sometimes. Like there's the majority and then there's the I don't want to use these words. I don't know the right words to use sometimes, but just the true psychics and alchemists. That's why you'll find most of the really good psychics and that they're underground. Like you have to know somebody to get to them.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Have you
That's a good
noticed
point,
that?
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
unless like these platforms and that, we're heavily screened in that before we even come on. We are strong enough to be amongst collective energies or to be able
Yeah.
to do it. So, um, yeah, it's coming up to Valentine's Day anyway. I'm going to start helping people when it comes to connecting with.
Busiest time of the month for us.
Well, I watched the live on Saturday night and all the love questions come through, and I'm on the other
Yeah.
end going, just tweak your self worth. Just do.
Well, you're on actually this Saturday with Harry T.
I am on this Saturday.
So
Yes.
people can actually ask you psychic questions. I've seen a
Yeah.
couple come through tonight, but we don't do them tonight. But yeah, save them for Saturday. Come back Saturday at 8 o'clock with Harry T. Miss Psyche D will be on answering your questions there. So that's definitely something to look forward to as well. Um, there's so much that you've done, and it's just, yeah, we don't have the time to go into detail with everything. But is
Yeah.
what's this? And I kind of sort of touched on this, but what has been, I suppose, the biggest? I know this was a highlight for you, but in all your, I'm talking more about the lessons and the learnings that you've done. What's been the biggest highlight, or maybe even like a surprise? Has anything surprised you along the way?
In respect to, like, in my
Just
personal
in
life
what
or business?
just in what you've learned, like just along the journey, the things that you've learned, has anything that's kind of gone, oh, I wasn't expecting that, or that's kind of surprised me, or that's just been just a big highlight for you?
It's really difficult because I'm a psychic. Nothing surprises me, and I'm really
No,
upset
and
about
that's fine.
that. Look, to be honest, I think it's more so once the ball gets rolling, I'm really surprised how good and easy life can get if you have mental
Mm.
health
Yeah, that's a good
things.
answer. Yeah, because a lot of people don't
That's
wouldn't think that.
yeah. So that's probably I know I irritate some people sometimes because they go, if it's that easy, I'd just do it and stuff like that. But like I say, I'm just about to share my story over on my own YouTube channel about where I've come from and stuff like that. But even though it was hard at the beginning, like starting anything like we were talking about earlier, it really is possible. Anyone can do it. And if they have enough self-love and self-respect for themselves and stuff like that, it's actually can be a lot easier than what you think it is
Mm.
with the right support.
I yeah, 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 good, yeah, with the right support. Because yeah, you get the wrong support, or you surround yourself with, maybe not the best support minded people, you're just setting yourself back. And unfortunately, though, some people don't know it because they're in it and they don't realize it too. And that's okay too. When the timing's right,
Absolutely.
as you know, Spirit of the Universe will put you on the right path. But there's obviously lessons as well that you probably still have to learn. And whatever
Yeah,
that might be, you just got to surrender to it sometimes.
absolutely. And it's just that core knowing. I've been really emphasizing this a lot lately is if everybody can just sort of shift their perspective a little bit and say, this isn't happening to me, this is happening for me. What's this trying to show me? What's this trying to show me? And even if that's just the first starting point, I have so many people come back to me and go, I have your voice in my head. I listen to you live and I have this voice in my head. And I used that the other day. And that's, if you could just shift the perspective a little bit and just say, I can get better even. I can get better. And just say that for 6 months. It doesn't matter. Just, yeah, it is
It's better than doing nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Spirit will, they'll surprise and delight you along the way. And all of a sudden you're having a great conversation with a random stranger. Or you find $500 in an envelope on a park bench. Or, there's unexpected, just they'll surprise and delight you. It's just not attaching yourself to a specific way in which it's got to come to you. That's
and having that. Yeah, and I suppose putting those expectations that it has to be a certain way, well, that may not work. It's good to have, I suppose, not to confuse goals and realistic kind of expectations on where you want to go or what you want to achieve. But even that's probably part of that manifestation of I want to get to this point, or I would like to achieve this,
Yeah.
But it's such a fascinating topic, and it's every day. We live and breathe it every day. And as you said, the more I suppose you are aware of it, the better your life is going to be, the easier it'll be.
Absolutely. And a quick example of that is that I always aspired to be on an international platform because of how much wisdom and that I have to share. And I originally got a deal with an overseas platform, and I couldn't work with them because there was a language barrier. They didn't understand the Aussie lingo. So I'm trying to help and do all this sort of stuff, and it was causing more confusion. So we both mutually just sort of went, and I could have sat there and beat myself up, and I went, oh, I've lost my manifestation. I can't pursue this goal, blah, blah, blah. I could have gone down that road, but I went, no, that's okay. Had the experience, still want it, whatever. And here I am, I'm here. So just don't give up. It's just never rejection. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just redirection to where you're meant to be.
Redirection. I like that. Rejection's just redirection.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
that. When you do embody that, when you embody it and know it to be true, and you really, really, things just don't bother you as much. They really don't. You have to do it and experience it, but yeah, it takes a lot to bother me these days.
I bet. No, I like that. And I think, there's been a lot there that people can go back to and even in the conversations that we've been having, it's kind of a lot in a short time, and you kind of do have to go back and watch the video and you'll pick up on new things. If you are watching, go back and rewatch it, because you'll probably hear something you didn't hear before. And that's the great thing about these kind of discussions, or you'll pick up something, that you can resonate with. And those that, watch it later, it's just one of those, it's a good reference type, scenario to kind of go back to. Or even just as a reminder, sometimes you just need to play it back to remind yourself to keep that motivation going. Or they can call you on the phone lines, and they can chat to you one-on-one, that always helps too. Before we wrap up, I mean, you've given a lot already, but what's one thing you can leave everyone on, a bit of advice?
Love yourself and love the life you live. Everybody here, you may be part of a blood-related family or timeline or anything like that, but you are a beautiful soul that's come as an extension of positive source energy, which you return to when you make your transition or die. You are here for your own journey, regardless of what anyone's doing around you. So honour yourself and your journey. Life is meant to be fun for you. It's all, freedom is your birthright. Sovereignty is your birthright. So if you feel a bit off the path, your only job is to come back on the path by remembering those things and to start really creating the life that you desire. That's what I would say, and follow the law of attraction, because it
works. and give it that time too.
Absolutely. Because all we have is now. We can't go back and change. We can't change what we talked about an hour ago or 10 days ago or 10 years. There's no point. Our energy always starts where we are. So I've started and stopped about 472,000 times last year. But it does all lead to something, and you will get that solid foundation. but you just got to be a little bit selfish, and not try to influence yourself with too many people or thoughts or, opinions and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But your journey, your life, and yeah, leave a legacy.
Yeah, or even just whatever that is for yourself, just do it for you. Because
Yeah, absolutely.
you're not living your life for someone else, that's for sure.
No, because people will leave, you know, people
Yeah.
will leave. The money will always come in. It's all you got is you.
Yeah, it's so true. And we do. We get so caught up in the commercialism of everything that we forget that
Yeah.
simple thing.
And codependency and reliance on the outside world to change to make us feel better when this is the world we need to change,
Yeah.
Honestly, once this gets as recalibrated, as good as it can get, you'll have it in your hand. I promise everybody, you'll have it in your hand.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, thank you so much. Like, you really
You're
are
welcome.
just full of so much energy and motivation and love. And it's great to be around your company. It really is.
I say, Michael, and yeah, it's good to be here. It's very humbling because I'm just being me.
Well, we've
But
missed
thank
you.
you.
So, don't leave us again. No, I'm joking.
I won't be, don't you worry. No, no.
So you're
I'm no
definitely
use to anybody back then.
no, of course. But yeah, you are back. So people, we'll get to see you again this Saturday at 8 o'clock with Harry T. So you'll be doing mini readings this
Yeah.
Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. It's good to see you back in action. I know Harry's looking forward to seeing you.
Yay! I'm looking forward to seeing Harry too.
So
Yeah.
you can definitely, catch Misaki D this Saturday with Harry T for more readings. But for now, thank you so much. It really has been just, again, a delight to have you on, and we'll definitely have you on very, very soon again.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And I'll see everyone on Saturday night.
You will. Thank you so much.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. And thank you to everyone that has jumped on tonight. Hopefully you've gained something from the show, from what Misaki D has said. If you haven't, go back and watch the video again. Like I said, it is one of those sort of videos that you can kind of go back to as a referral to either be reminded, re-motivated, or learn something new. When it is a discussion like this and there's a lot kind of happening, you kind of find that if you go back and listen to it again, you'll hear something new. It's just the way it works. Don't believe me, go and try it for yourself, because you'll pick up on something. But thank you for those that have watched. Thank you for those that have watched later, because I know a lot of you do kind of catch the afterplay. So I do thank you for that as well. What else do I need to do? Oh, yes, I should probably let you know again. So who's online? So if you do want a psychic reading, I should have actually asked if Misaki D was going to jump on. She usually does kind of jump on, so you might be able to catch her as well. But you can go to psychictvinternational.com or psychictvaustralia.com, and available to take your call for a psychic reading is Amazing Grace 9888, Ben 10 on 9902, Benjamin on pin 9166, Jag, our UK psychic, on 9160, Janae on 9128, Judith Sky on pin 9125, Natalie Norm Baker on pin 9810, Psychic Sadie on pin 9147, our UK Psychic Veneretta on pin 9112, The Seer on pin 9141, and Vanessa on pin 9900. Again, thank you so much for those that have watched. I will be back next week with another guest psychic. Of course, you can see Miss Psychic D again this Saturday night with Harry T at 8 o'clock. Pleasure to have your company. A lot was kind of said tonight. There's a lot of motivation out there for everyone, but just start being you, start living for you, and start asking for what you want. And once you get a clear perspective, you'll definitely get what you want as well. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week.